One of the nice things about the differentiated text levels here is, as John said, students can pick and choose as well as teachers. But the thing is, I go back to our advisory board member who said, you have to know who's in your room. And even though you might start out with a foundational text in general, kind of to see where kids are, then you wouldn't, we're not suggesting that kids stay on those foundational texts. And then there's another group that's on level, another group that's on more challenging. They're going to move around. And as John said, they're often going to choose on their own. And one of the stories that John told me about his classroom is when he was doing argument, there's a piece by Mark Twain called Advice to Youth, and it's Twain, so it's fun, but it's not so easy and it's not so accessible to kids right now. And he said kids chose that one and he heard them laughing out loud. And that's what we want, that they are going to find a challenging text that they want to challenge. That's how it gets defined as challenging, not necessarily that we label it as such. So there are different ways to look at these text levels, and also the pathway is that the students will move between them, because the complexity might be in terms of subject matter, it might be in terms of style, it might be in terms of vocabulary, it might be all of those together, but there's a flexibility about that so that no one is tied into one particular level. And this also helps with the access piece, because if you have students who enter the class and think, I'm not sure if I'm going to really go into AP, is that really where I belong? Some of these texts will say, absolutely, this is where you belong because you're making your own way. And others will simply give them the confidence to move forward. And that's also so key. When we read those AP exams, very often confidence is something that people say, oh, this is a really strong paper. There's a confident voice. How do they get that? They don't just walk into it. And they also don't get it through some kind of, systematic step 2, 3, and 4 instruction, but it's developed over time. And I think these different levels of text allow a teacher and the students to work together to develop that confidence.